Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today on Tutorial Does, we're going to be answering a question that was presented by a viewer, Old Fart Hacks. So sit back and enjoy the ride. So the question is, on some future video, can you show how the combination change happens inside the wheels? Can one of the wheels be taken apart to show the action? So we will try our best to answer that. I have thoughts in my head. Whether they come out in the right order and make sense on camera remains to be seen. If anything is not understandable, if you have questions, leave them down in the comment section. You know, I answer everyone right now, and you know, hit me up in the comments, give a thumbs up, appreciate it. All right, so there are several different ways that safes will be combinated. There's a key change, there's a hand change, there is a screw change. Unfortunately, I do not have a example of that, but that's generally found on your Sentry safes. When you take the safe apart, the first wheel that you see, which is the last one that the combination stops at, will have screw holes in it, and you take a screw out and put it in a different hole, and that will change your entire combination. So the downfall of that is it's very limited on what you can do, although they have gotten better. It used to be you took the drive cam and you'd rotate it 90 degrees or 180 degrees. So, you know, you would take the bolt off, take the drive cam, and just move it to one of four holes. Now they have several holes to give you much more possibilities for changing combination. Regardless of what way you change your combo, always test your combo several times before you ever shut that safe door. If you don't, it'll be very expensive proposition for you when it has to get drilled open. And some of them, when you drill them open, the safe is junk because there's no repair. With that said, let's move forward. I have a dial change, and I have a key change, and I have a hand change. So I will show you what's going on with those. All right, so here we have a dial lock. So here the dial, this one here is basically 0 to 99, or 1 to 100. So you have the numbers on the wheel that make up your combination. So this is the wheel. This is the bracket that sits on the face of the safe that the dial sits in. You can see here it has a little tick mark there if we're dialing, and this one here has another tick mark. Oh, this one has a tick mark over here. What this tick mark is to change the combination. This is what you use to dial it open. This tick mark here is to change the combination. So this is safe lock. The bolt comes out down here. This is a straight bolt. If it was electronic, it could be a straight bolt or it could be a swing bolt. Again, I don't have right now. I don't have an example of a swing bolt. All right, so when you go to lock the safe, this is screwed through the door and it's screwed down into this brass cam right here. So what that will do, when you turn the wheel to lock it, it will throw the bolt out and it disengages this lever right here. This one right here. So when you go to change the combination, you dial your safe as if you were going to open it. So you dial the numbers correctly, but rather than this tick mark, you go to this tick mark. And what that does you can see right here, this little square hole, that is the hole that the change key goes into. So when you dial the safe correctly, all your gates will line up underneath the hook of the fence. Okay? They will fall into, the fence will fall into the gates, and then when you turn the wheel, your drive cam, which is this brass one on top, will hook your fence lift up on the fence. Will lift up on the fence lever, which comes down here to this screw, which is attached to the bolt, and it will retract everything up. When you go to dial the safe, when you go to dial the combination change, it's a little hard to show with this one, but your fences will all line up at the bottom of the hook versus up here where they need to be to open. And that will line all these keyholes up and then you have your keyhole in your back cover. This is a Keydex set. It has multiple different safe keys. So what this wheel is, this is an AMSEC. You can see the name there, AMSEC. There's Gardall, there's Lagarde, there's several other manufacturers, Mossberg, Sergeant Greenleaf, Diebold. So on the back here is a listing of all the different safes that this key set will work for. All the different safe locks that this key set will work for. So if we're going to be doing this, we want an AMSEC 3-wheel. So that would be key number 3. So we take key number 3 with the cover on. You take your key, slides in, and I don't have it quite lined up correctly, but so this would go in all the way. This notch here would bind the cover, so it will spin in the wheels, but the key won't come out while it's turned because of the cover. That's why you want to make sure that you change the combo with the cover on. 1, to make sure they're all lined up properly, and 2, to make sure nothing gets damaged. So what's happening, so here's a wheel that's been taken out of a wheel pack. So the key goes in, and what will happen is you turn the key, which opens up these gears here. Which then allows this outside with the gate to spin independently from the center. Right, so right now you can see the center is spinning without this spinning. And then when you go to lock it, it relocks this center section. So it will not spin freely, so that when the cams come around, they hit each other and will allow the wheel to turn to the number where you but when the key is turned, it opens up and disconnects the gears to allow this to turn. So this stays in the same position, but this will change what number it stops at. And then you lock the wheel, and now you've changed the combination. This wheel pack here, this one here is a hand change. So it's different from the key change in that you change it by hand, hence the name. And the way you do that one is you need to first take off the retaining ring, like as if you were going to clean the safe. I mean, as if you were going to clean the dial. All right, so we have a retaining ring. We can take off our first wheel. So you can see here we have this little tab, just like we did here. And then the corresponding wheel below it catches on this fly right here. So this fly has some movement, which is why when you spin the wheel a certain number of times, you know, left, right, left, this has some play, which makes it more difficult to feel. If you're going to try and pretend that you're a safe cracker in the movies and feel the tumblers, you know, feel the wheels pick up and whatnot. So this helps defeat that. Plus also this gap can vary, so there's not necessarily a set distance of, you know, if you're listening and you hear it click and then hear it hit, you know, that you know how many numbers. So the whole movie safe cracking stuff, that's, yeah. So the way a hand change is done, this center wheel will pop out. Okay? And then on this wheel, there is a little tiny notch right there. And then you have your numbers on the wheel here. So you'll take, and just say you wanted 65. So you take and do your best to line this up with 65. No, I should mention, you can see all these little serrated teeth. There's also teeth in here. So you need to line those up to push it back together. So push it back together. Come on. They can be a little finicky. They are old. That wants to go to 64. So you play with it until you get it lined up, and you push your wheels back together. And for whatever reason, this does not want to go. All right, there we go. All right, so it's going back. You push it back down, and now this is actually at 64. But again, you want to, once you've gone and changed all your wheels, you want to go through and dial your combination. You want to go through and dial your combination to make sure that your numbers are correct. I find that unfortunately these numbers, along with that mark, are rarely correct. They're usually 1 or 2 numbers off. So this one here is a 4-wheel. However, whoever changed the combo, they made the 4th and 3rd wheels the same number. So it dialed open like a 3-wheel. But so that's changing a hand change. Hopefully that made sense. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments. And that goes back on. Your wheel packs back together. And this is a key change. And then I don't have the screw change with the Sentry, unfortunately. So, old fart hacks. Hope that answers your question. Let me know if I didn't hit something you wanted to hear. And thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, God bless. Have a wonderful day.